That's a chord with vibrato on one finger. Hi. So you all asked, how does a Seaboard Block perform with Garageband? So I'm going to show you that today very quickly. And then I'm also going to show you how it performs with Ableton Live. Ableton Live doesn't really work with MPE, multi-dimensional polyphonic expression, but it works enough to get by, and I'll show you how. And I'll be continuing to use it with Ableton. Now, if you haven't already watched my video on the unboxing and first impressions and is it worth $300 on the Roli Seaboard Block, go ahead and watch that video. I'll link to it in the description below. But right now, we're just gonna take a look at what it does with Garageband. So, I'm running Garageband on a MacBook, one of the 12-inch versions of the MacBook, connected by USB to the Seaboard Block. Now, I just want to show you a couple of instruments. So I loaded up the string ensemble that's actually provided with GarageBand. So it's not a special software instrument or anything. It's included with GarageBand. And here's what it sounds like when you just play it right out of the box with the Seaboard Block. It's a C, G, A minor. Nothing special there. I can kind of do the same thing with my regular chord keyboard here. So kind of sounds similar, but things get more interesting when you tap the notes a little differently. Now I'm playing them legato here, and now if I strike them differently, I can't do that with my chord keyboard. It's gonna just want to play it legato right off the bat, and the attack is very different. You can already hear it. It just doesn't sound the same. Even nicer than that is the fact that you could actually control vibrato with your fingers. So if you're playing one note, just by doing that, I'll play a little louder. That's a chord with vibrato on one finger. And you can even use that to pitch bend. Again, I'm holding the G and the C and pitch bending the E. So that's a true MPE instrument for you, that you can do all these. Now there's not a whole, other than the attack, varying the attack, and I somehow got release to work, but I cannot figure out how to work that again. But the vibrato is really cool. You can't do that with another keyboard unless you have a separate control for it. So right on the key to be able to control vibrato is very cool. So that's awesome. Some of the other things in GarageBand, like if you try a bass, just by varying the pressure that you're putting on the key is actually applying vibrato. For this is the deep sub bass instrument. Also on, there's an Arctic noise. So moving up and down on the key is not really doing anything with any of the instruments that were included with GarageBand, but it already is out of the box taking advantage of the MPE capabilities of the Seaboard Block. So especially for something like strings, I haven't tried a guitar. Maybe we can try a guitar. Oh yeah, it works beautifully in guitar. Now let's see what it's like with Ableton Live. I'm using the Equator plugin, so now we're using Ableton. Sounds good, right? Sounds pretty decent. So here, you can actually see that I can control vibrato on this. This is through the Equator plugin in Ableton. So this way, it works pretty well for a single finger melodies. So pitch bends on the Top and bottom work beautifully. Now where you can tell that it's not truly functioning like an MPE is when you try playing two notes and then maybe trying to pitch bend it in different directions, and you'll hear the results are not what you expect. That's not what's supposed to be happening. You should clearly hear two notes pitch bending in different directions, and it works fine with the Equator not as a plugin, but as a standalone software instrument. It sounds very different. But that said, the Seaboard Block still works beautifully with Ableton Live. If you just want to use an instrument that allows you to do some really cool vibrato stuff that you can't do with a regular keyboard, this serves that purpose. It actually works. So maybe in a later update of Ableton, you're going to have that. You can also use an Ableton template where it uses multiple MIDI tracks to actually harness all of the MIDI channels that you'd need to take advantage of all the dimensions of sound in this. But without getting that complicated, it's still a very useful, very nice instrument to play. So moving up here, changing of the sound, that all still works in Ableton. It's just a matter of being able to do it with two different keys. See, when one is sliding, the other is not. That's where the problem happens. No. Okay. All right. So let's play the strings in Ableton. Now, these are the strings that come with Ableton, and you can listen to what that sounds like. So playing with the Seaboard Block, the attack just seems the same. Not much of a. It's just really the force that's changing. Now, if you try vibrato, it's not doing anything. Slide is not doing anything either. So except for the pitch bend, the pitch bend will work. I'm still working on it. Maybe there's a way to get this to work. I'm going to try, but so far, if you want some really intense control on your strings or guitar without using the Equator plugin by Roli, then you might be pretty well off just using Garageband. Anyway, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you later.